Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the PG Electroplast Limited Q2 FY22 earnings conference call hosted by PhillipCapital India Private Limited. During this call, company may make certain forward-looking statements based on the current held beliefs of the management of the company, which are expressed in good faith and in management's opinion are reasonable. The forward-looking statements may involve known and unknown risks, uncertainties, and other factors which may cause the actual results, financial condition, performance, or achievements of the company or industry to differ materially from those in forward-looking. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Deepak Agarwal from PhillipCapital India Private Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thanks. Good afternoon. On behalf of PhillipCapital, we welcome you all to PG Electroplast Limited Q2 FY22 earnings call. Today, we have with us management represented by Mr. Vishal Gupta, Managing Director of Finance, Mr. Vikas Gupta, Managing Director of Operations, and Mr. Pramod Gupta, Chief Financial Officer. We thank the management for giving us the opportunity to host this call. So without taking much of time, I would like to hand over the floor to the management for their opening remark, post which we will open the floor for Q&A. Over to you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, everyone. Good evening and a warm welcome to everyone to our second quarter earnings call. I hope you all are keeping safe and healthy. I am joined in this call by Mr. Vikas Gupta, our Managing Director of Operations, and Mr. Pramod Gupta, our Chief Financial Officer. We have already shared our results presentation last week, and I hope you have already gone through that. First of all, we are very delighted to announce that our wholly owned subsidiary, PG Technoplast Private Limited, has recently received approval from the Government of India for the PLI scheme for AC components. We have committed the fourth largest investment after players like Daikin, Amber, and Hindalco, and we believe we are in one of the best positions to capitalize on the opportunities being provided by this scheme. We are investing in a good mix of components manufacturing to significantly improve our value addition. We are confident of gaining a sizable share of the domestic market of room AC manufacturing in the coming years. With the establishment of a robust component ecosystem domestically in the next few years, we can also look forward to tapping export markets for fully built ACs and AC components. Coming to the updates for the quarter, I would like to commend India's strong vaccination drive, which has restored consumer confidence. This is evidence that festival sales, which signals that the economy is on the recovery path. The demand situation is expected to be further boosted by the marriage season, which is expected to be quite strong this year. The first 2 months of this quarter were quite slow, as there were large inventories in the channel, and the distribution network was also lacking in confidence, as everyone was expecting the arrival of the third wave. However, given the vaccination drive and the strong festive season, that confidence is now back, and the uptake from our customers has started ramping up in the month of October and November. Now, I will talk about the different products of the company. This quarter, the washing machine division saw its highest ever production and sales. Sales grew 88% YOY for the second quarter and 98% for the first half for this year as compared to the last year. We added 2 new customers in this quarter and introduced 8 new models. Our fully automatic washing machine is seeing very good response, and we are steadily adding new customers for the same. The growth of the division remains strong, and we are on the track to achieve our target of 100% growth this financial year. Our outlook for this business is very positive, and we will be scaling our production capacity by 50% again in next few months. We have already begun the development of 5 new platforms in semi-automatic and fully automatic categories. This will help us to expand our product offerings to our customers for the next year. AC IDU sales remain positive this year. Sales are up 111% for the quarter and 319% for the first half, but the numbers were not very big. There is a sharp rise in the commodity prices for copper, aluminum, and steel, along with the rise in the prices of crude, which has led to the corresponding increase in the plastic resins and transportation. The container shipping prices also continue being at very high levels. We have been able to pass these price increases to our customers. Our ODM range of room ACs have been tested and validated by many leading brands, and we have tied up with them for the coming season, and our order book is nearly full now. We have received very good feedback about the models and product platforms that we have developed. We are working towards ensuring successful execution of the orders, and all preparations are being made to ramp up to peak capacities immediately after commissioning of PG Technoplast's new facility in Supa. Demand looks very robust for our RAC products. With the PLI approval in hand, we have now begun planning the next phase of robust growth in the segments for the coming years. The company has already added a large national brand as a customer for air coolers in the OEM model. Talking of growth percentages is right now meaningless, as numbers may look very high on very small base of last year. New client addition is the result of a long project and product development process undertaken jointly by the teams of both the companies. Our company has already developed its own models of air coolers, the product validation for which has been completed by 2 clients. We are seeing increasing inquiries post-Diwali for the coming season, and we are confident of good growth for this coming season for the air coolers also. Our company has recently started manufacturing LED televisions. We have already signed up 2 brands in this quarter, and we have already begun production for one of them. And we are expected to start ramping our LED TV production by end of this year. Our specialized plastic molding and fab business is showing good traction, and our outlook for both remains very robust. The growth in this focus segment is 58% for the quarter and 157% for the first half of this year. We are discussing with many new business possibilities in specialized molding, which will help us in expanding our molding capabilities. We are also undertaking several lean manufacturing activities to improve cost efficiencies and maintain cost leadership. Further, in tool manufacturing, the order book is quite robust now. We have recently increased our capacities in this division by 40%, and now we can manufacture bigger tools in shorter times. Earlier, we were limited to tools for up to 650 ton machines, but now we can manufacture for tools up to 1,000 ton machines. Outlook for mold manufacturing business remains very promising, as an increasing number of customers are looking to localize their tool sourcing. The customers are also looking for end-to-end solutions for product conceptualization, research and development, tool manufacturing, product manufacturing, and supply chain management. We have taken a decision to focus on catching such tool manufacturing orders from consumer durables and sanitary businesses, where we can leverage these sectors to tie in with our company's current business objectives to create good synergies for both our companies and our customers. Now I would like to hand over to Mr. Pramod Gupta, who will take you through the financials for the quarter. Thank you, everyone.
I welcome everyone. I'm sure you would have looked at the profit and loss account and balance sheet. Revenues for the quarter were up 30%, and net profit was up 47% for the quarter. But I'd like to detail more on the finer details, especially on the one-off cost during the quarter, which impacted a little bit of margins in this quarter. We had a fundraise in the second quarter. Basically, the money came in July first week, and so we had a total expense of about 1.6 crores for the fundraise, out of which 60 lakh rupees has been expensed during this quarter. In the next 2 quarters, 50 lakh rupees each will be expanded. Apart from that, because we are launching our AC ODM product, we had a lot of testing and validation expenses for AC ODM business, and they were to the tune of 2.3 crores, most of which are unlikely to repeat, and there has been no corresponding revenue yet, and we have written them off in the current quarter itself. Also, we had startup expenses till August related to the 100% subsidiary, which is PGTL, because we were hiring people like managerial and all supervisor for posts, and those people have subsequently been transferred in the month of September to PGTL, and all those expenses have also been written off in this quarter itself. We had a small delay in passing on some of the higher commodity prices to some clients due to contract commitments, which also led to a little bit of pressure on the margins. Coming to the balance sheet, if you see this quarter we raised 76.6 crores through CCCDs and equity, which has been partly used to pay for the current liabilities. Also, 30 crore rupees out of that we have invested in a 100% subsidiary, that is PG Technoplast, which is going to be our growth vehicle, as well as the entity where we have received the PLI notification from the government. Also, due to the challenges on supply side, we have increased our inventories, especially on the reported raw material, and this will continue for this quarter as well to assure the smooth supply of AC ODM model in the subsequent month, which is the peak season for the AC. I also want to dwell a little bit on PGTL, which is our 100% subsidiary. It's a 100% subsidiary, so we will now be actually investing close to 60 crores of equity into this totally in this financial year. 30 has already been invested. We have also got sanctions from banks to the tune of 80 crores of term loans for completing the capex for FY22. Overall capex is going to be close to 110 to 115 crores in the PGTL in FY22 for putting up the capacities for AC manufacturing and AC component manufacturing in Noida and Supa. Noida plant incidentally has already started production, and we have done the trials there. Supa, we intend to do the trials in the next month, around 15 December onwards. Out of the 80 crores totally approved term loans, 40 crores has already been drawn, and rest will be drawn as the machinery and plant starts getting commissioned fully in the next 1.5 months. I will also like to sum up that in 1H21, again this year, because of the shutdown and its after effect, we had a loss of almost 250 crores on sales and close to about 18 to 20 crores on EBITDA. But we are still very hopeful of closing the years in sales in 4 figures and having an EBITDA growth of close to 50% over the last financial year. This is not a guidance, but our estimate as of today, based on the order book and business outlook. And with this, now I will like to open for the question answer. And Deepak, I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Vishal Prasad from VP Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, good evening. I have 2-3 questions. So the first question is on PLI, the approval that we have got. So could you please talk about the PLI scheme in detail, how much we plan to invest, and what are the milestones we need to meet to get the benefits, and what are the expected benefits that we will get over the years?
Hello, I'll take this question. Basically, over a period of 5 years, the total amount that has to be invested is 300 crores. We have committed 321 crores. First year, the minimum is 50. By next year, this cumulative has to be 100. my third year 150, and fourth year 225, and fifth year 300. This is the cumulative investment in plant and machinery that has to be done, excluding of land and building. After that, from the second year onward, when investment year, first year is the investment year, which is in our case going to be 21-22. In 22-23, sales, minimum sales of 250 crores of the components have to be there to avail the PLI benefit. So if we do a 250 crore sales of the desired components that we have chosen in 22-23 financial year, which is basically financial year 23, we will be getting 6% of the sales as a benefit in the year 2024. Similarly, in year 2023, 24, we have to do a sales of 500 crores, and we will have to get if we do hit us 500 crore sales on those components, we are eligible for 30 crores of PLI benefit. So the benefit is 6% for the first 2 years, then 5% for the next 2 years, and 4% of the sales for the last fifth year. Like first year is the investment year, second year onward you have to do the sales. So that is the way it will work. The cumulative sales that we have to do to get the full benefit is over 4,000 crores over a period of 5 years, and if we do and meet all the guidelines parameter, we are eligible for 198 crores of PLI benefit cumulatively.
Okay, so you mentioned that we will do a capex on plants and machinery of between 300 to 350 crores. So could you talk about what would be the investment in land and buildings for achieving that 350 crore capex in plant and machinery?
So in the first 2 years, we are planning to do investment in land and building, and after that we will actually take a call on how the business proceeds. So in the first 2 years, the land and building cumulative investment will be about 55 to 65 crores minimum, and largely it is actually in Supa, where we are building this 10-acre plot. In the first year, 10 acre we have spent 10 crore on land, and 25 to 30 crore will be spent on the utilities plus the building. And next year we may look at again building a building in the second phase, which will be the year 2023, which will be probably 20 to 25 crores kind of a capex for 250,000 square feet of area cumulatively in the second phase, and first phase also we are building 250,000 square feet area. So that will be the capex on land and building in the first 2 years. After that, we will actually be evaluating options of building or to basically take a long-term lease, depending upon how we see our cash flow situation and how we see the opportunities, and do the cost benefit analysis.
Okay. And could you tell me what's the expected revenue from whatever capacities we have in PG Electroplast, including television and washing machine and air conditioning?
See, the problem is it's very difficult to give the idea, because some of these businesses are seasonal, especially the AC as well as the washing machine businesses. But if we do an optimum utilization, which is to the tune of 60-65% in both the businesses, on the expanded capacity post this year, we can probably do a turnover of about close to 2,500 crores easily in all the businesses put together.
This will be excluding Technoplast revenue, right? Our subsidiary revenue.
Yes. I'm taking over the consolidated company post this year's expansion, which is going to be getting completed in December.
Okay. And my last question is, sir, could you talk about the components that we plan to manufacture? Are we going to manufacture the motors and all in the PLI scheme?
We have not opted for making motors. We are going to be making the PCB controllers, cross-flow fans, sheet metal components, basically plastic components, and heat exchangers.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to the participants, if you wish to ask a question, please press star then one on your touchtone telephone. The next question is from the line of Satya Wadhwa from Profusion Capital. Please go ahead.
Sir, could you just enlighten us on what sort of asset turn one should expect on the capex that you are doing, and the margins going forward will be same in the 6 to 7% range, or do you expect to do better? This is without the PLI benefit, and the PLI benefit will be on top of that, right?
Yeah. So I'll take the first question. The asset turns will improve for the company going forward, hopefully, because when we do the full assembly of the product in an ODM model, the asset turns on the fixed asset obviously go up significantly. Also, we are likely to see a slight improvement in the margin if we have a normal years. And there are no one-offs, etc. So we can expect about some small percentage increase in the margins on a standalone basis without the PLI benefit. I'd like to highlight here that PLI benefit, the whole idea of the government to give a PLI benefit is to remove the disability, so that we can become competitive with other imports, and also we at some point in time become competitive in export market. So my sense is, and I believe that large part of the PLI benefit will actually be going to the customer and eventually be passed on to the end consumer, so that the Indian companies and component players become globally competitive and sizable. And we also in our strategy actually, or in planning, not building in a huge retaining of the PLI benefits. Large part of it will be actually given or passed on to the customers, so that they can remain competitive in the marketplace and they can compete with the other players who have got PLI.
Okay, and in your current assessment, what is the gap between sort of Indian competitiveness, your competitiveness versus imports of the same component from China or other sort of FTA countries? If you can just shed some light on that, would be great.
See, now with the policies and the duty structures that we have in place, imports, at least in India, are not viable, and they are probably expensive than what we can do right now in India. But in export market, we have a disability with Chinese players of about 10 to 12% at least in the fully built AC right now.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'll go back in queue, let others ask a question, and I'll come back. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dikshit Shah from Ambika Fincap. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my question. You are getting into too many things, washing machine, TV, and air conditioners. So I just wanted to understand, in terms of the capabilities vis-a-vis the larger players like Dixon and Amber, I'm sure you would have done the benchmarking and look at the capability gaps and all. So could you elaborate on that, or do you have all the capabilities to do all of these consumer goods items? That's my first question.
Okay, I'll take this question. I'm Vikas Gupta. Okay, the question is very pertinent. We understand you being little apprehensive on the bandwidth which is available with us. But we would like to assure you that please understand the washing machine is a business that we have been doing for the last 4 years now, and we are a pretty well-established player in the washing machine category. In fact, in the current quarter, we were just next to Dixon in the ODM category of the washing machines. We were number 2, in fact, in that. Coming to air conditioners, air conditioning is one of the business that we have been doing for the last 2.5, 3 years now. Definitely, we are giving a big push to this business, and we are getting into an ODM category of business for air conditioners. And we have already created a team for that. We have one of the best resources available in terms of technical and the R&D team members with us. And we have already, in fact, launched the products. The customers have already validated that, and we are already in the execution phase of that. So I think we will be able to go through that. There will be no issues on that. TV. And in TV also, we are tying up with the large design house in China, and we are getting those products manufactured in India. So I don't think any challenge will be there in that part also.
Thanks for that. Actually, this was one thing, but the related issue is, when you look at the valuations, the rich valuations of the larger players like Dixon and there are entry barriers and it is difficult to...
Sir, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but your audio is not clearly audible.
Hello? Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
So what I am trying to understand is there entry barriers? Is it very difficult for anyone to come in and do a third-party manufacturing, or you think you have certain competitive advantages that you have built in the business?
Sir, please understand, sir, we have a credibility in the market. Please understand, if I have been able to do a good business with my client in a washing machine category, they'll be more than willing to share their air conditioning business also with me. And likewise, it will hold true for the TV business also. So we are building on whatever past experiences and past business relationships that we have with our clients. We are building and we are leveraging that. So we don't see any big challenge in that. Definitely, in the beginning, there might be some customers who will be little apprehensive. We also understand that. So that's why we are very cautious about that, and we are taking all the possible steps to overcome those challenges. And definitely for air conditioners, this is a big year for us, and coming 2 quarters will be very big. Once we are able to deliver on those promises, I think there is no looking back.
My last question is, there is a large component market opening up in the Southeast Asia and other parts of the world for the exports. So are you looking at sometime down the line capturing that part of the business opportunity?
Please understand, right now our focus is on the domestic market only. As I told you, like we are launching our ODM category of air conditioners, and our focus will be for next 2 quarters at least for delivering on those promises that we have made to our customers. Definitely looking forward, exports is one focus area that we'll be definitely exploring, and I think that will be 1 or 2 years down the horizon for us.
Thank you for taking my questions, and I think you guys have a good future. All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, if you wish to ask a question, please press star then 1 on your touchtone telephone. The next question is from the line of Vishal Prasad from VP Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. 2 more questions from my side. One is basically on AC components, not for us, but generally the industry perspective. I understand that we try to import the motors from China, and there are few players who are trying to build scale in India, but still, I mean, we are facing challenges. So from your perspective and industry perspective, do you see that a few years down the line we will have enough capability in India so that we don't import from China?
Please understand, looking forward, definitely as the major motive and the major objective of PLI scheme is to develop a robust component ecosystem in India. And there are several players and several, I would say, our peer group companies only who have also participated in PLI scheme. And they are also pitching in for components like motors and everything. So we are hopeful that definitely the component base will be able to get developed in India in next 2-3 years, and we will not be requiring to import from China then.
So if somebody manufactures in India and that company is able to get the scale, so will there be a cost differential between whatever is manufactured in India and if we are trying to import from China?
Please understand, with the PLI benefit of 5 to 6%, I think definitely there will be a cost advantage. Please understand, it is not only a pure cost decision when you look at the import versus local buying decision. You have to look at the long lead times also, and you have to look at the inventory carrying costs also. So all those factors also come into play. So I think in the long term, definitely the local vendor base will get a preference going forward.
Is there a technology challenge like if manufacturing it in India, or there's nothing like that?
I don't think in other than compressors there is any technology challenge in other components. Motors is definitely a little bit, but I think there are companies who are tying up with some Chinese or some overseas technology partners, and they are coming out with the local solutions for motors also.
And sir, compressors, what are the challenges? I mean, if we are trying to manufacture in India?
Compressors, definitely there is a technology barrier, and I think as of now there is only one company which is manufacturing compressors. And in the current PLI scheme, there are a couple of companies who have already so they have already spelled out their intentions of manufacturing compressors in India. So going forward, I think compressors also will be a component base available for compressors also, I think, in coming 2 years. Please understand, you have to give at least 2 years for this PLI scheme to have an effect on the market.
Right, sir. And my last question, sir, you mentioned that RM price fluctuation. So we were not able to pass some of the things, and that's why margins suffered. So in our contracts that we have, there is no auto pass language there, is it? And we just based on price increase or decrease, we are not able to pass automatically.
So there are contracts typically which are there for where the price revision happens either monthly, 2 months, or on a quarterly basis. And there are sometimes some customers which prefer a quarterly price revisions. And the kind of commodity price run-up which we saw in the last quarter was very significant. And more than that, actually, the transportation and logistic costs, the way it ran, especially for imported components, that leads to sometimes a mismatch between a passing of the cost fully to the customer, and that sometimes leads to some bit of margin pressure. But then it restores back in the coming quarter as the price revisions happen.
So are we facing any pressure from the customer that they'll not be able to approve all the price increases?
So this is very natural. Please understand, all the customers are trying to put a pressure on all their vendors, and this is very natural. But it's a process which is based on trust and mutual understanding. And we are in continuous discussion with all our clients, and we are able to pass on the cost pressures to them. We are able to pass on that cost increases to them. Definitely, sometimes there can be some time lag, but more or less, I think if you look at a holistic picture, we are able to pass on that cost impact to our clients.
Okay. And sir, we are into television, washing machine, and air conditioning. So would we be looking at any other white goods, or these are the three where we are trying to focus?
Please understand, for the current year and for year of next 1 or 2 years, I think our focus will be on AC air conditioners, as we have already committed a large capex or large amount of capital investment through PLI scheme. So it will not be appropriate for us to talk about any other product category as of now, but definitely going forward, we'll keep on evaluating opportunities as and when they come.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, if you wish to ask a question, please press star then one on your touchtone telephone. The next question is from the line of Kinshuk Tiwari from PhillipCapital. Please go ahead. Mr. Tiwari, you may please go ahead with your question. Your line is unmuted.
Sorry. Good evening to everyone. Well, most of the questions have been answered. I just wanted to ask one thing. So as we increase our capacity, as we add newer products and clients, do we have enough capability in terms of key personals who are going to be instrumental in terms of executing these plans over the next 2-3 years? That is one. And what are thoughts there? And the second one is, are we looking at newer capabilities in the long run, in terms of product addition? I'm talking about the capabilities, not the product itself. Maybe the new age products that are coming and hitting the market. How are we thinking about IoT and ML, etc.? The first one was on key people, and the second was on the capabilities. If you could please answer. Thank you.
Please understand, definitely you have, I think, maybe certain doubts, but please understand we have already created a team which has been working on all these product categories for last more than 1 year. You see, when a product is conceptualized, when it is designed, there has to be a team from the initial stage only. The products that we are offering to our customers right now were started in a design phase more than a year back. So we put the team in place more than a year back for design of all these products. Definitely, as we expand our capacities and look at different product capabilities also, we will be adding more people, more key team members in that. We are in process of adding that. In fact, we have hired a lot of team members in especially our AC business in last 1 or 2 months, for which I think Mr. Pramod Gupta already explained about the expense that we have booked for all those people that we have hired.
Mr. Tiwari, you may go ahead with your question, sir.
My questions are answered. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, if you wish to ask a question, please press star then one on your touchtone telephone. I'd like to remind all participants connected to this conference, if you wish to ask a question, please press star, then one on your touchtone telephone. The next question is from the line on GN Ravi, individual investor. Please go ahead. So GN Ravi, you may go ahead with your question, sir. Your line is unmuted.
Good evening. With the expansion that you are proposing, would there be any increase in the financial costs, and what will be the burden in the next 2 years, please?
Obviously, once we do expand and we do have to take more loans for expansion, there will be some financial expense which will go up. But obviously, the increase in the financial expenses in proportion to the sales growth is going to be lower, and we hope that as a percentage of overall sales, the financial expenses will continue to come down.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, if you wish to ask a question, please press star then one on your touchtone telephone. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference back to the management for closing comments.
I just would like to thank everybody for attending the call, and asking intelligent questions. We will meet again in the next quarter, hopefully with better numbers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of PhillipCapital India Private Limited, we conclude today's conference. Thank you for joining. You may now disconnect.